In this day and age, any business, you should have a way that you give back, right? We all believe in karma. We all believe in paying it forward. So like, how are you going to take all your successes and wins and turn it into something good, not just for yourself, but for other people?
Life is all about relationships. Lovers, family, body, or money. How satisfied you are can be completely explained by how you relate to things around you. This is Sophie Jaffe, and together with my husband, Dr. Adi Jaffe, we are here to explore and teach you how to maximize your relationships and achieve a happier life. Let's get ignited. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Ignited Relationships podcast. I'm Sophie Jaffe, and today I am doing a solo podcast introing my girls from Show Me Your Mumu, Cologne and Cammy. And yeah, where are we now? We are knee deep in gratitude month, and Thanksgiving is around the bend, and the holidays are approaching us, and we are in the season of thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're going to get more into this, but most importantly, I want to thank you guys for being so incredible. Your feedback has been mind-blowing, honestly, from our Ignited Glow event. They are just emails, the letters, the DMs, they're just trickling in. It means the world to us to hear from you. That's the entire purpose behind Ignited, is a community. So thank you for keeping that alive. And I want to read to you today's review. And it's from Sanchez JX. She said, or maybe he said, oh no, she. She said, awakening, 5 stars. I started my journey with Ignited when Sophie was a guest on Marissa Lace's podcast and was instantly magnetized by Sophie's energy and began, all the way from the very beginning of their podcast, to listen to the Ignited podcast. Adi and Sophie's story is beautiful, one of a kind, and truly inspiring. I was in a long-term relationship where I was cheated on, and from time to time, I thought about whether or not it was the right decision to let go of that relationship. After I listened to their Going Deep episode, I realized it was the best decision. Why? Because we were not willing to do the work. Adi and Sophie's story proves what beauty comes from the work. It started with one podcast episode to now caught up to all 103 episodes, and even Adi's recovery episodes bring light to understanding people's struggles in today's world of addiction. Thank you for shedding your light, spreading your magic, and igniting us all with the work you do for the greater good. Thank you so much. This is so beautiful. What a review. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And please email us, DM us, contact us so that we can get you your goodies. Anytime, in case you don't know, anytime that you leave a review for us going forward, at least for the next few weeks, and you leave a review and we read it on air, then we will send you your favorite Philosophie superfood powder and one of Adi's beautiful books, which is all about his philosophy with addiction. It's called The Abstinence Myth. It is an amazing book, and you should just go buy it to support him regardless. But if we do read your review on air, then we will send them to you. So definitely send us an email. And thank you for all of your reviews and listening and just being a part of our Ignited family. We had an amazing discussion last night on a panel, and it was all about relationships. And I'm so excited to bring that to you guys on the podcast. We recorded it for the podcast. They asked us to be on the panel and for Adi to moderate it. And then we were like, oh, well, we want to share this with our Ignited community. So we recorded it last night, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear this. It's such a beautiful recording of like every phase of relationships, from single and dating all the way to Adi and I being married for 10 years now. And it was just a really, really fun, exciting, magical night with a lot of really great feedback and tidbits from everyone that was there from all different walks of life. So can't wait to share that with you. And I want to read our quote of the day. The quote of the day today is from Brené Brown. And she says, I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. Oh, so good. So, I mean, this is basically talking about, it's not about the big gestures. It's not about being on vacation or being away from your home or, yes, it's about those things too, but that's easy. It's easy to practice gratitude when you're in a beautiful resort somewhere, or when you're winning at work, or when you get a raise and it's, gives you reason to celebrate. What about celebrating the ordinary? What about finding the beauty in the everyday moments, which we can find if we pay attention? And that was a big theme for last night, is where are you putting your attention? Where, what you can look at dating, you can look at anything. But for example, last night, you can look at dating as a pain. Dating's hard. Dating's impossible in LA. Dating's X, Y, and Z. Or you can look at it as fun. And in my relationship personally with the D, I can look at it as, I'll look forward to the things I look forward to. And, our fights bring us closer, and at least there's some excitement there. So ups and downs. But what about the everyday? What about the mundane? How can you find the beauty? Where can you add some little surprises and excitement in the everyday? And that is really, really where the practice lies. And, especially in this season right now where it's all about Thanksgiving, we've got the holidays. How can we just slow down, be more mindful of the food we're putting in our mouths, of the drinks we're putting in our mouths, of the things coming out of our mouth, of going 1,000,000 miles an hour? Anxiety, is at an all-time high. How can we slow down? How can we be more mindful? Go to a few more yoga classes, go to, a few more meditation classes, or practice your own meditation or yoga at home. Take care of you during these holidays. It's so important so that you can better give to everyone else around you in your world. And I wanted to share, I got from a Forbes article that was written 2 years ago. It says, scientifically, the positive effects of gratitude have been proven for a variety of purposes. Alex Korb, PhD, talks about how gratitude boosts the neurotransmitters dopamine and serotonin and the hormone oxytocin, all associated with well-being and having a positive outlook on life. So basically, you can change your neurotransmitters by exuding gratitude. The more grateful you are for your life, from the mundane to the good to the bad, it will actually change your neurotransmitters and boost the dopamine and the serotonin release and the hormone oxytocin. So again, love you all. Let's focus on gratitude, the good, the bad, the ugly, the mundane. And I'm going to pass it off to the Mumu girls, my friends, co-mamas. They just had their first little girls who are around Noah's age. And learn a little bit about their story. And just again, we are so grateful for you guys. And please leave your reviews. Please tag us on Instagram. Tag the Mumu girls if you like this episode. Share a little tidbit of what your takeaway was. And we'll catch you on the next one. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. Mwah. This episode of the Ignited podcast is brought to you by Philosophie Superfoods. The Philosophie offers cleanses and other nutritional products that are unlike any of the other supplements and detoxification programs on the market. Why? Because they actually nourish the body with whole, live, nutrient-rich foods instead of depriving you and leaving you hungry. Have you ever tried a cleanse only to find out that you can't make it through a whole day because you're starving? Ever try a superfood shake that made you nauseous because it was so disgusting you'd rather not eat? The Philosophie fix all that with a simple set of offerings that load up your body with nutrients while actually tasting good. Makes sense, right? Each of the Philosophie superfood and protein blends is vegan, raw, gluten-free, and has absolutely no filler ingredients. With over 15,000 satisfied customers, including some of the world's biggest celebrities like George Clooney, Gerard Butler, Lea Michele, and over 10 years of experience, this is the best stuff you can get. To buy some or find out more info, go to our website, thephilosophy.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the conversation segment. oh my God, I could actually call this a fireside chat now.
Oh my
Because there's a fireplace. We're doing this in our living room. Don't kill yourself, baby. It's okay. It'll all be fine. We are here. Are you dressed in Show Me Your Mumu head to toe or just the jeans?
I was trying, but a girlfriend borrowed
You have
a
the
dress,
jeans on.
but I'm wearing short. I'm wearing my favorite Mumu shorts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love those shorts.
I think this is kind of a first for us. And what I mean by that is we haven't done fashion at all, really, right? Since we started this thing. So it's been like 2 years of no fashion, and you guys are the first.
We are honored.
That makes sense. It is my uniform though.
So I'm going to start you off with our icebreaker, but then I have a totally different question right after it. For either one of you, both of you, if you could be any expert in the world, who would you be?
Expert.
Yeah, like somebody who you know is just amazing in what they do. Who would you trade places with?
I would probably trade places with, we have a COO at our company named Liz.
All right.
And she's amazing. She's older than us and wiser and so calm.
Knows her shit.
She knows. I mean, I wish I could react to situations like Liz. So I think I would just be our older, wiser COO.
I love it. Keep it close to home.
I'm trying to become her.
Okay.
Instead of like WWJD, I say WWLD. Like, what would Liz do?
All right.
Hold my breath and count to 10. Don't cry.
Oh, I love it. All right.
She is really good with people. She knows how to handle things.
Good tips. Do you have somebody you were thinking of? Cologne?
I don't have it yet.
You know, okay.
No
okay.
pressure.
I
If
have
no
a
one comes to
follow-up-
mind.
I have a follow-up question. I'm going to have to admit this. I don't know. When you first told me, when I first heard of Show Me Your Mumu, the first thought that came up for me as a guy,
Yeah, I know.
this is like 6 years ago or something, maybe longer, maybe when you first told me about it, I was like, the fuck, a mumu?
I know.
I got to understand how.
Did you think of Homer Simpson? We get that a lot.
Or did you
I
think like
thought-
something perverted?
No,
Show me
not
how to
perverted.
He was just crying inside. He's like, can you not shop
like,
it
I don't
anywhere where
get
you're going to
it.
wear a muumuu?
Yeah, I was just thinking of like the old school way of thinking of muumuus. And I was like, this is not, please no.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, the answer is no.
Yeah.
And you're here, you're like hip, you're young, you're the opposite of who I think would come up with a name like that. I got to understand how that happened.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have the same reaction. Like we've owned the company now. Next year will be 10 years. So we've been having to say like that we work at Show Me Your Mumu for 10 years. And it's always the same reaction. People are like, show me your what? But yeah, so when we started the company, when we were living in New York, Cammy and I, we went to Berkeley together and then we moved to New York and we're roommates out there 10 years ago, or I guess, I don't know,
Wow.
8 or 9 years ago. And then we went on a spontaneous trip to Miami back in New York when we were working in fashion, someone invited us like to go in an hour and we were like, yes. So we like packed our purses with whatever we had. Literally we didn't even bring suitcases. I think we just like threw clothes in our purse and then got on the plane. And when we were there, we had this realization that we really needed this one thing that was like, we could have only brought this one thing and we would have been fine. And it was like this muumuu thing. We kept calling it a muumuu. And basically it was like just like kind of a cover up mini dress, throw on thing that you could be like any kind of shape or size in and you'd look cute and you could just wear it, to brunch, to the club.
I'm freaking out inside
So,
because
with a
this
bathing
is
suit.
exactly what your pieces are like for me. Like, I know that I am good on a trip as long as I have like 2 muumuu pieces. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm fine. Like, I can wear it to everything. It'll look cute no matter what. I don't have to, it's not precious. I don't have to
Yeah,
you
get
can,
it
like,
bundle it
ironed.
up,
Like, I've
yeah.
never ironed in my life. Like, I'm not ironing anything.
Yes.
Like, it's not.
They're great for
It's
travel.
easy.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, and just like something you could throw on and like you look cute and you don't have to try very hard. And that was sort of the whole like basis behind the brand.
I love it.
Love it.
And so we were in Miami and our friend was like, you guys keep talking about this muumuu. He's like, show me your muumuu. And he just kept yelling at it. It kind of just stuck, the name, show me your
So
muumuu.
it's so funny.
And we
That's
were laughing
amazing.
about it.
And we shortened, like the traditional muumuu spelling is M-U-U. So we like shortened the dress and shortened the spelling. Like a lot of our stuff is,
Love it.
Shorten
a
the
little on the
dress
short
and
side.
shorten
So
the
we like,
spelling. You practiced that
the word.
before.
Now he's in. Now he's
You
sold.
now
practiced
he's
that
like,
before.
okay.
Well, I knew
Not
there
the
had to
same
be
spelling.
I knew there had to be a cool story behind it because like the two of you do not come up with mumu out of nowhere. Like
it's a fun word though, at least.
Yeah.
And no
Totally.
one forgets it. So
Except that it
helps.
means vagina in German.
Even
Yeah.
better.
So
They're
how's
like,
your German
yes.
market
we
doing?
didn't.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
actually good.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that
actually
European
good.
people
Is that
have
why
a
you
sense
asked? I
of
didn't even know
humor
why you
about
asked me if I
private
thought of
parts.
something
Oh
perverted.
yeah, we get a lot. We get like at market, the Show Me Your Mumu sign. Every single German that walks by like dies and has to take a photo in front of it because it's literally means show me your vagina.
We didn't know
So
that
good.
until we got to market. And all these people were taking pictures in front of our sign and we're like, what's going on? But now like we'll get this, we have a store in Venice. So we get influx of like German tourists and we do these trucker hats that just say Mumu.
Brilliant.
Nice.
So remember 1 year before Coachella, like we sold out of the trucker hats because all of these Germans came to the store. They were all
So
wearing them
Wanted
all
was a
around.
shirt that
just
said
like,
vagina on
I
it.
get it.
That's it. It's they've been dreaming. The kids have been dreaming about this for decades, and you were able to make that happen for them. I love it. I mean, it's so funny. It's like you hear about these kind of cross-cultural mishaps, but you almost like you landed on a gold mine by mistake.
Yeah, luckily it works.
That's amazing. Okay, so you've known each other forever, and because I mean,
College.
I'm hearing like
undergrad.
14
Yeah.
years or so.
I can't do math.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
Wow,
33.
that's scary. Yeah, we would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good
14,
math.
15 years.
Yeah.
Like 14 years.
Yeah,
right?
That's my thing.
Perfect.
I'm good at math. Helps in this context
That's
in
crazy.
no way.
It's long.
That's amazing. And so, Ignited for me is a lot about talking about relationships. And two friends from college moved out to New York together, known each other for 14, 15 years. You're like the closest humans to each other in
Yeah.
the world.
We
Like
are.
by physical
We spend
proximity
every
and the
day
amount of
with
time
each
you
other.
spend together.
I know. It's like I'm definitely with Cologne way more than my husband.
Definitely.
Like for sure.
Yeah.
Way more than my child. For sure.
Have there
I know,
been,
it's crazy.
I mean, this goes without saying, but there have been bumps along the way and times when was there ever a time when you were like, shit, now we have a business together and like, I hate you. Like, I had a business partner and we went our separate ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I mean, it
beginning
happens a
was
lot, but
the hardest. I think after year one,
yeah.
we worked out all the kinks and the balance between being friends and working together. Like once we got in a groove, we've sort of maintained that groove. I think the biggest piece of advice I would say, like I do think you can go into business with your best friend, but you really have to separate what happens during the day and then what happens at night. Like
Yeah.
you have to be able to still enjoy each other on the weekends and go to dinner, and you really have to
Boundaries.
whatever happened at work, you got to like let it go. I mean, you have to decide what's more important. And for us, it's definitely our friendship. So no matter what happens at work,
Yeah.
even if we disagree all day, you still have to be able to hang out with each other.
Yeah.
Or
Awesome.
like,
I think-
why'd you go into business with your best friend? Because
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah. That's
you're
where
going
people
to
get
disagree
separated. Yeah, I
in
think they
business.
take
You're
it
going to
home.
have, leave it at the office.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like we definitely have our work relationship is like a separate thing from our personal relationship, and our personal relationship has always been great,
Yes.
and we've never had like issues like at all.
Yeah, we
And
disagree
so-
all day at work. You
Yeah,
can
we're
ask
always-
anyone. They're like bouncing in between us. Like,
Yeah.
who do I listen to?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Which way do I go?
all the time. We're both very passionate about the
Love
brand. But I mean, and that's why it
Peacefully,
works
though.
too. We have very different aesthetics and we design together. So we have, we kind of the brand is very a collaboration of both of our aesthetics. And I think that's why it also works really well, because we're not just one vision, one
Yeah.
thing. It's like a combo, which
smart.
has been, I guess, a lot of the success, I think.
That's beautiful. I think that's how we are too. Like we're very, very different. He's more of like the science. He has PhD.
You have to,
studies
like,
neuroscience.
respect each
I'm like
other's
the
different
spiritual intuition.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then we come together on the podcast and we come from completely different angles and the way that we
Yeah.
and people always comment on that. They're like, you guys have such different perspectives, but it comes together so beautifully. And
That's cool.
Then you offer something to everyone. It's
Well,
nice.
I think in both ways. First of all, the way you talked about working together with your best friend is almost the identical way to having to work together with your partner.
It is very similar if you
Because
can do it. Yeah.
I can't, like, if we were always in work mode, the relationship
Yes.
would really suffer,
gotta
which
have
would
fun.
destroy
Yeah,
the
you
work
have to
relationship.
have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to like separate it.
But then
you
also
know?
the piece about having different viewpoints, I think it makes everything better. There's actually a lot of research now, for the longest time, the way companies would work would be like there'd be a CEO at the top that would funneled down all the information on how things are supposed to run. It was like my way or the highway kind of approach.
Yeah, one
and
vision.
more people are realizing that having specifically opposing views, like having somebody tell you, no, I don't like that. I think here are the gaps in what you're not seeing, and having that conflict.
Yeah, like collaborative.
Yeah, it makes better stuff.
Yeah, and I think Mumu's, we've always been really open to that. Like we bring a lot of, because there's so many girls that work at our office. It's like an army of Mumu girls, and we really try to bring in a lot of their opinions and their ideas and really push them to drive the brand as much as us. And it's not like we're the,
Higher ups
yeah,
that are.
the only voice that's heard.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a big part of the success too, is definitely, listening to all the girls.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
And you started in New York?
We did. We started in New York, but that's when we both were working full time for different fashion companies. And then we started the brand on the side, built the website, made the Mumus, and like really just did it like very, very, very grassroots, like Craigslist, Facebook. There was no Instagram at the time. It was like very interesting I don't even really know how we did it. And we sort of turned our apartment into like the shipping department and all of that. It was just crazy.
So you were making these by hand?
We found this like weird factory down the street that they made them for us, like very small batch.
Yeah.
We would go literally pick them up in a trash
we
bag.
did it.
Yeah.
Like we would
Literally,
walk
yeah.
down the street because
With
we were in
the
New
rolls
York. We
of
didn't have a
fabric.
car. Yeah, bring them the rolls, then go back in a week and pick up the Mumus. Bring them back to our house, stick them in the freezer, the oven, wherever we had some shipping supplies.
We had the
and
tiniest
that's how we did it.
apartment.
It was really fun though.
It was
love
really fun.
We discovered this like magical factory in Nolita, I guess is where it
we
was.
lived in Nolita, and the factory was in Nolita, which is crazy. I didn't think there should be no factories there.
We did our first photo shoot there. If you
Yeah.
want to go way, way back on our Facebook page, you can see it.
At the factory?
Yeah, it's very cool. They had like
Obsessed.
And on the
golden
roof.
toilets and weird art
It was so
everywhere.
interesting.
And
Wow.
like it was like an exposed open elevator, so it definitely wasn't code.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
It
but
felt
it was
very
cool.
illegal in there.
It
That was the time you didn't have to care about any of that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun and
Yeah.
it was cool and it
was
was
like a lot of
great.
artists.
And then when we decided to do the brand full time, we moved everything to LA. There's great factories in downtown LA. There's a great garment industry. We weren't really, we couldn't figure that out in New York. We didn't have a car. You don't have room to have an office, all of these things. So we came to LA.
Is that what made you move? Is literally like you needed room to expand and
Yes. And we needed to be able
And
to make it
we wanted-
affordably.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. We
there's,
wanted to make
downtown
it-
LA, they are still making clothes and we still make, I think 80% of our stuff in downtown LA, which we're like so excited and proud
that's
of.
amazing.
And so we moved everything here. We got a 2-bedroom apartment. So 1 bedroom could be the office, things that just aren't realistic in New York.
Yeah.
unless you're
We got
already
a
a billionaire.
Prius
Yeah.
to drive everything around town and, all of that. So yeah, that's when we moved everything to LA. But the brand's aesthetic has always been Southern California clothes because even when we lived in New York, we were still dressing like we were in California.
Where are you from? Your family's here though, right?
I'm from New Orleans.
Are you from New Orleans?
Originally.
I love
Yes.
New Orleans.
But I have all the girls in my family are here. Me, my mom, my sister, and then my dad and my 2 brothers are in Louisiana. LA to LA. I like to say.
crazy.
I love New Orleans.
Me too.
Oh, I love
I
that
know.
city.
It's
Me
the best.
too.
It's my favorite city in the States.
Wow.
Me
it's
too.
The vibe is just so
We've
fun.
done some photo shoots there too, which
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
fun.
it's such a great place.
That's awesome. So you're from New Orleans. Where are you from?
I'm from Newport Beach. So boring, but here.
Not
California.
boring.
Boring, like the place that everybody in the world wants to come go to.
Right?
No,
I'm
it was-
like, no, I grew up watching the OC. Not boring.
No, it was a very fun place to grow up, but just close, local.
But this was coming back.
But very
home.
California, so definitely
That's where the style comes from.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's like, California Southern, so it was a good.
Love that.
Soph, what
joining.
attracted you to Show Me Your Mumu when you first heard of them?
I mean, to be completely honest, my best friend Rochelle was teaching yoga and to all of you at the time, right? Like she was doing
Yeah.
private yoga to you. And then one day she couldn't go and said like, my best friend's going to fill in. So I didn't even know
Yeah.
about the brand. I just started teaching them yoga and I fell in love with them. They just came out, they just launched yoga pants and I was
Yeah.
obsessed. And I wore them. I wore the ones with the bulls all the time because I'm a Taurus.
Yeah. Cool.
And yeah, I had just got off contract with a not wonderful brand that's like a yoga brand that just made me feel very like closed up and like I couldn't express myself. And then I met you guys and I felt like I could be myself and shine and be open and not like be cookie cutter. I think that's what I really liked about the brand. And then I realized you had all these other amazing clothes too. And I think like you guys paid me in yoga clothes or something. I don't even remember. But then I just fell in love with the clothing and just like haven't taken it off since. Again, like we talked about in the beginning, just the ability to, like, I'm very no fuss. I don't like to get ready a long time. I'm like, you know, I do the same makeup since 7th grade. Like I don't,
Me too.
I'm just simple. I can't.
For everybody who can't see it, that means glitter all over her face right now.
Right now.
Very
Heavy eyeliner,
pronounced
literally, it's
eyebrows.
lip gloss.
No, concealer and like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just, that's not where my strong suit is not in that. And it's funny because I actually got like best dressed in high school, which is only because I was in Maryland and I would come visit my dad in LA and go shopping.
You had the cool style.
I would go shopping and then
Cali
bring it back to this little town in Maryland. But it's not because like, I do love fashion. I can appreciate it, but I'm not really, it's not really my strong, like
Spend a lot of time
I don't spend
looking
a
at trends and stuff.
No, I
Sophie
just do.
goes to trips. I love telling the story because it's like, it shows to me the epitome of who you are. Like Sophie goes on these trips, you know, there's these influencer trips and they go on to these amazing places and she'll come back and she'll say, you know, there were all these like fashion and beauty girls there. And I brought like 3 outfits. My yoga outfit, my outfit to leave the house that we were in, and then the hanging out outfit. And I'm serious, like literally that's what she would bring. And she goes, they had an outfit
Like
for every
4
meal.
They
suitcases.
change every 15 minutes.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
what? And I also know that because it's not authentically who I am, that I can't keep up with that. Like, so even if I know
You'd
there's,
lose your mind.
it just isn't me. So, but I still feel cute. I don't care. Like, I'm still like, I love who I am. And I think that's like the basis of all of it is that it's like, I feel good in the clothing that you guys create because it allows me to be myself. You know, I'm not trying to like,
That's
yeah,
what
I
we
hope
want.
Mumu's one of your 3 outfits.
obviously,
I'm sure it was.
crumpled up in my purse.
Mumu's great for travel.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
I'm the same as you. I don't iron things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's figure it out. It's all like bundled in a ball in my suitcase. The first trip we took to Miami, we packed purses.
Yeah.
Because
You had
it was
1
a
hour.
last minute trip and we just had to go to the airport.
Just
And so that's
shoved
why
it in
we
a
were like,
bag.
we need to make something that you could just shove in your purse and then pull it out and you could wear it. And, you know, like you said, you don't need delicate, like,
it's so
dainty
interesting because
stuff.
for men, right, there's like the jeans t-shirt thing.
Yeah.
And if you dress up for work, let's be honest, for men, it's like either a suit and then there's like 3 colors you get to pick from. It's like black, blue, or khaki or whatever, that's it. And then there's like the whatever, chino, like there's 3 kinds of outfits for men, period, in the world, unless you get really fashionable. And so it is interesting to take that concept because there's an ease to it, right? There's an ease to just knowing, look, I kind of get to pick from this palette and then I'm done. I don't have to think about this anymore. And so it's nice. I just wonder how you said you shortened the word and we shortened the dress, which I like as a motto. What are the sensibilities? Like obviously so easy to pack, easy for travel, all that kind of stuff. You said you have very different styles. What brings it together? How do you guys figure out what a next line is or the next outfit you guys put out is?
I think where we align is we both like fun clothes. I mean, obviously you can find, you know, solid black stuff on our website, but at the end of the day, we both will wear prints probably more than the average person and sort of fun clothes and a pineapple print or like you said, the bull print. When we came out with all of our crazy prints, people they were doing florals, you know, but that's where we kind of align. We think that loud, colorful clothes are fun.
Yeah.
The type of prints we like may be different, but we both are into that. And I think our customer is into that too. They want to wear star print on 4th of July. They want to wear a bright rainbow print at this event. You know, they're a little more inclined towards that stuff. And that is sort of where we align. So our clothes have always been rooted in dressing fun, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
I think
awesome.
a little bit of like we like to bring out a little bit of like emotion in our clothes. Like, you know, you feel emotional about your Mumu pieces. Generally, is like what we hear. People have some sort of emotion towards their things. It's not just something that you would like wear to be cool, and we like to keep it cool. But I think you more like are drawn to it for some sort of reason that you can't even really explain. Like it's like, you know, I think the prints are really sort of something that sets us apart. And then we try to keep the things pretty easy to wear and like pretty simple. Like we have a little bit of like a girly bohemian vibe to our brand, but it's really more about kind of the prints and yeah, just keeping the clothes like exciting and fun. Like we say our like other motto is life is fun, your clothes should be too. And just trying to keep, it's just like
light, it's fun.
Fun and
we
comfortable.
don't want it to be like you said, like
do.
fussy and
I find myself like, I'll be invited to speak on these fancy panels and like at Soho House. And so I go and like I wear like what I think I should wear and it's not, I don't feel good. And then when I wear something like Mumu or something that's just fun and like actually allows my personality to come alive, then I'm better for it. Like
Totally.
I show up more as myself. You allow like that when you wear something that is fun, it allows you to feel fun. It allows you to be free instead of feeling restricted or feeling like the worst is, I'm just, at least for me personally, putting on like heels or something uncomfortable and then like a
feeling
stiff outfit and I'm like
pencil skirt.
Exactly. Like
worst
worst nightmare.
We will
Worst nightmare.
we will never
Mine too.
make a pencil.
No. Thank
Pencil
God. Praise
We'll maybe
be.
make a flowy midi, but not a pencil.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I think, we really try to keep the clothes like easy to wear and fun and just something that like, is like not boring.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I love
important.
A lot of like fashion brands are like, the vibe is a little serious and we really try to keep it like opposite of serious at Mumu, which is like, I guess fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we don't take ourselves seriously. We don't take the brand serious. I mean, the brand is serious. It's a serious company, but we don't we don't want people to think that it's like,
Stiff. You don't want it to be stiff.
like I feel like a lot of fashion brands, at least because we're in it, we're there all the time. It's a lot are very serious. So we try to just keep it light.
I love that.
It's November. We've got Thanksgiving coming up, and you guys, I mean, just the journey of this thing. Are there moments where you stop in the middle and say, "Oh my God, like we went on a trip to Miami, had this idea. It's 10 years later. We've been able to grow this thing. What are some things in Mumu and in your life in general? You're both married. You got there's kids. Like there's a lot that's happened in the last 10 years for you guys. What are some of the things that bring you the most gratitude? The things where you stop and you go, "Oh my God, these are the things I'm grateful for."
I think, when you say like 10 years, it doesn't feel like 10 years, which I think is a good sign. Like if you're enjoying what you're doing, I think it'll sort of fly by, which is like a nostalgic, sad feeling, but also an awesome thing to not feel like it dragged on.
Sure.
And it's sometimes though, the problem with that is you don't take a moment to like take a breath and look around and appreciate where you are, where you've been, and like soak in that moment. For me, like those moments that I really soak it in and I feel grateful for what we've accomplished and grateful for everyone who's supported us. Like we always try to do 2 company parties a year, something around the holidays, which will be coming up, and then something in summer. All the employees are welcome to bring their kids. And, when you stop working, but you're with the people you work with, it's a really good feeling. And you never get to really do that, because we're working all the time.
There's
And
always
like at
stuff
the
to
end of the
do.
day, of course, they want to go home to their families. Do
Totally.
they don't want to go have dinner with us.
I so
we make
badly,
'em.
my assistant Taylor is here like 3+ days a week. And I'm like on Fridays, I'm like, can we just have a drink together? And like, we don't make it happen because
it's hard.
the kids walk in the minute that we're done. It's just, life is happening, but to be able to pause like that.
So making that a priority to like take that time. And for us, we do it twice a year with the people, with the whole company,
love
not
that.
just a couple employees or whatever.
Their families, their loved ones.
That has been like the awesome moment for me. I always cry. I don't know. It just always
you a
makes me,
crier?
I'm a crier.
Me too.
I'm a crier. But yeah, that's a moment when I pause because I feel like the rest of the year I'm like sprinting.
And you get to really connect to the impact, right? Like we don't think about it, but when you employ people, like you're taking care of other people.
Right. It's a big responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's their life is you're partially responsible for it, which is huge. But also, again, to be able to give somebody that is there's a lot of gratitude.
You
there.
want to,
What about for you, Cologne? Like, what are the things that bring you gratitude?
I mean, huge for me is, I mean, with owning this business, and you've like heard our story kind of starting, it was me and Cammy for a long time, just us. And then obviously slowly we brought people on into the brand and started hiring people. And now we've hired a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think it's just crazy when you like look back, and a lot of the girls, actually all the girls that we hired in the beginning are still with us. The first like 5 girls probably. And they are like so special to us. It's crazy. It's like to see them work so hard for this brand that we've created and make it part of their lives. Like you can see them on Instagram. They all have their, Lauren Mumu, Sarah Mumu, like they all have Mumu in their name.
cute.
Just go Mumu.
I love it.
And
amazing.
it's so fun. There's a lot of them, but it's crazy. It makes you like, it's just, you just have so much actual gratitude towards them and to what they do for the company. And like I feel that way about Mumu, and it's so nice to have the same feeling for people who don't, that they weren't there in the beginning, but they've been there long enough that they have that passion and they really feel, it's a part of their lives. It's their connection. And I feel like, it's like, they're like our family. Yeah. So it's just a crazy feeling. And it really makes going to work today every day, like amazing. Like I love doing what I do because of the people and the brand and what we do. But like, all the girls that work there, like it's crazy. It's just, you're so thankful for them. And like, yeah.
Can you guys share a little more just for me selfishly? My superfood company Philosophie is growing, and everyone, even just my, influencer world, Sophie.Jaffe Instagram, and then my Philosophie superfoods, like it's all expanding and growing. And I always hire my friends, or at least once they're my friend, like once they're part of the team, they become my friends, because that's just the way I am. And I was never taught boundaries as a child. Like my mom just didn't teach, there were no boundaries.
No boundaries.
Literally zero. And I'm learning it as I go, but it's usually when I make mistakes that I learn about the boundaries. Do you have any advice on how to continue having that like family-like feeling in the office and with your coworkers, but anything personally that you each do to like keep yourself in check and so that the friendship within the two of you or with your employees doesn't get tainted or ruined, but you can still maintain both? Like how do you two maintain that with grace, that balance?
I mean, it's definitely challenging because the same goes for us. We've hired there was one point I think 80% of my friends worked for us.
Exactly.
Like even my friends from high school, like they work for us. So it's like, it's crazy. Like we have, and Cammy too, like a lot of her very best friends work for us. And then even with them working for you, that you become better friends. So like we have this big Mumu family, and we like, a lot of them live together. They're roommates. We like go out together. But I don't know. It's very lucky. I think we are very fortunate with the people that we've hired, that they, that they respect us as friends and as like bosses, I guess. And then we respect them. So you have to create a level of respect where you don't take your position for granted, and you don't, you don't act or react outside of like, how you should. But I do think there is, you have to have a level of professionalism in the office where like, they do understand their role and you understand your role. Yeah. And then even though you are friends, I still can have like very serious meetings with my best friends, and like, or, if they did some, sometimes you have to have a hard meeting. And I think you just have to respect each other, and then still be able to, like we do with each other, go for a drink and laugh about it, or not laugh about maybe that situation, but laugh about something else. Yeah. And really just sort of like keep it light outside of this. If you're having a hard situation at work or something, you just have to be able to still maintain that friendship and let them know that, hey, it's okay. I still love you. And this is what we're going to do today. And it's, just don't take it outside the office.
I like that.
You really have to kind of separate it, but it's hard. It gets really hard. Yeah. Sometimes.
My biggest,
but it's also the best.
It's the best because then everyone that works for you is like family. It's just like when there's really intense moments.
It gets hard. Yeah.
Like during this move, for example, like it was so stressful. And so, I really needed to create stronger boundaries because it was just so intense having people that like had higher expectations. It's one thing to just have an employee. It's another thing to have an employee who also is kind of like family. It was just more needs.
I also hear something interesting that I don't know if you meant this, Cologne, as you were talking about this, but there's work-related issues and there's life. And when you're in the office, you primarily talk about work-related stuff. That order, this order, hey, something got messed up. That's another thing that I think it's nice to have friends around, because when there isn't that personal connection, when somebody messes up, it's hard to kind of start. If you're only assessing them by their performance at work, then it becomes a little bit more difficult. But then when you get out of work, to connect on a personal level, because I feel like what can happen sometimes when you surround yourself with the people that you always also work with, then all the conversations end up just going back to the work. It's constantly like, well, did you do the thing? No. And then nobody wants to work 14-hour days, even when it's your own company. Yeah. You don't really you want a break. Like,
you need a break.
Even if you don't realize that you want a break. Like when you guys, you have partners, like when you come home, I'm sure sometimes you talk about work. Yeah. And sometimes you talk about the other things in life that matter at least as much as the work. And I think that's a boundary that's hard to keep sometimes for you personally, because a lot of the people, Sophie, that you have around you know so much of what's going for you around work, my work, et cetera. And so next thing you know, you're catching yourself, it's 9 p.m. and you're still talking about your closet, or you're still talking about these other things. And your brain hasn't had a chance to shut off.
Yeah. When we hang out with our coworkers, I guess they're coworkers, they're like our best friends, but outside of work, we do try to sometimes we talk about work, but more of the fun stuff. And we try to talk about other things.
Like the celebrations and
people, what's going on. Like we definitely try to have that personal connection with them outside of work. I think that is important. If it's just work all the time, then you're not really friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, you are, but you're coworkers.
Yes.
So true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any other things about gratitude that you want to share with everyone? Like anything that you personally relate to when it comes to gratitude on a daily basis? We're right around Thanksgiving time, the holidays. Anything that you want to offer?
I think in the beginning of starting the company, things were so busy and crazy. We really didn't put an emphasis on any sort of like giving back or, showing your appreciation for life and what you have by paying it forward. And so we've been playing catch up, right, the past few years, because I'm like, how did we create this big company when we have no heart giving back and showing our gratitude for everything that we have and all of that? So for people starting a business, I would say identify that super early on, because in this day and age, any business, you should have a way that you give back, right? We all believe in karma. We all believe in paying it forward. So like, how are you going to take all your successes and wins and turn it into something good, not just for yourself, but for other people?
Exactly.
And so we've spent the past few years sort of identifying the different organizations and causes we want to work with. And we finally started making it part of the company. We do like monthly volunteer things with the company at Baby to Baby. We started picking up trash once a month outside our office. We find like condoms and crazy stuff. It is crazy.
Good old Venice.
But y'all are in Venice.
No, this is downtown.
Oh, downtown.
Oh,
It's even crazier.
Even better.
And it brings me like so much joy and gratitude for just being able to do that. And it's really cool to see like people come to work early to do that, or people to spend their summer Friday volunteering, because we do like the summer Fridays. It makes me feel good that we've like hired the right people, but also I'm like, the company is doing great, and I am so appreciative and grateful, and I love to be able to pay that forward in some kind of way. So anyone starting a company, do it from the beginning.
Yeah, and I think energetically, personally, what I see is that it only makes you do better. Like even if you're not,
I agree.
If you're in a company, you have your own company, and or even just you as a person, like on your own and your family, like it only makes you do better when you put good into the world. It always comes back. That's just the way it works.
Absolutely. It's so true.
So build that in from the beginning.
And I mean, you feel so good after you pick up trash on the street for an hour, and then you're starting your work day like
that,
on a really positive note with that sense of community. And I've just noticed like it's a really positive change, I think, for our company and office. So that would be my advice. Be grateful, but then like pay that gratitude forward in some way, big or small. It matters.
That's awesome.
Cologne, anything to add?
I mean, I was just going to say, I don't know if your listeners, is that what they're called? Yeah.
can call
do they
yourself
like
whatever you want,
babies? Because
listeners.
sometimes we try to not talk about babies on these types of things because we could just end up talking about babies the entire time.
Tell me about it.
Because
Let's talk
we
about babies.
obviously
We
are
all
obsessed
have
with our
We all
babies.
have
We
baby
love
girls the
babies.
the same
all the
ages.
same age.
They're all
Yeah.
within like 1 and 3 months apart. So I feel very
crazy.
connected to you guys in that way
Yeah.
because even though it's my third, it's my first baby girl, and it's
Yeah,
very
and they're all
different.
girls.
It's very different.
so cute.
and it's just beautiful to like witness you guys in that. Like,
Yeah,
because I
it
feel the
changes
same-
a lot
yeah.
about how you feel
Oh,
towards
yeah.
you know
In the
everything, and it's
world.
our first, so it's crazy. It just like transforms you, so you feel very grateful.
Yeah.
After having a baby,
Yeah.
So just have babies.
just have a baby.
Have babies and give back in your companies. I think is the takeaway from
That's
today.
the takeaway.
Do you? We
But
haven't
don't
talked.
have a baby if you don't want to have a baby.
Not
It's a
until
lot of
you're-
work.
Not until you're ready to have the baby.
And the world doesn't
Some
need
people
more.
are meant to have babies, and some people are meant to be like
No doubt.
godparents and aunts and uncles.
Yeah, and that's fine
both
too.
are so important.
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to say
We
that.
value
no
that.
pressure.
Yeah.
Were you guys in your relationship before you moved back to LA, or before you moved to LA, or?
I weirdly was, but
Because
like
I
with
was
my
thinking
husband.
myself. Okay.
Yeah, I met my husband.
I was like, a relationship.
Oh,
With our
in a
husbands.
relationship. Yeah,
I was
then.
not. I mean,
Yeah.
I was in a different one.
Yeah, we was in
Right.
a different one. And I actually met my husband kind of through her relationship. But
that's funny.
I was dating him long distance from New York to Perth, Australia, which was interesting.
That is long distance.
Yeah.
That's like
True.
the longest
It's the
distance.
farthest you
It
can
is-
get.
you're
It was
right.
opposite.
You are
It was
smart. It is like
very,
the longest
very,
very
distance
far.
in
Period.
the world.
It was
Yeah.
bad. It was bad. But it worked out. So it's crazy.
That's
we just
amazing.
did a lot of flying back and forth. And then when I moved to LA, he moved to LA eventually. So
I would hope.
I got lucky.
mean, I would hope if you're married with a kid.
I know,
he made
right?
the
He
move.
still lives in Perth.
So he was there for literally for this entire journey of the company.
Somehow he's seen it all.
Because one of the things that I love about this conversation, and again, we've had a couple of either like female-owned companies,
Yeah.
but you talked about all the girls in the office. I feel like there's a huge power to being able to keep this because you guys fully own your company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's something important to bring up around this time, not just because Black Friday is coming up,
Get ready.
but also
It's going to be really good.
but also like, look, fashion, I mean, everything from the fundraising to the sales to all the stuff that is required. Like, we didn't talk about the nitty gritty pieces of making Mumu a success over the last 10 years, but it's a lot. Like for anybody who's never run a business and had a job, you know how much is entailed in your job. Now imagine having to be responsible for that plus all the other tasks when you started because you had no employees.
Yeah.
So you did everything yourself.
Yeah.
What allowed you to keep this in the family? What allowed you to just be the two who just own this throughout? Because I'm sure there have been challenges along the way for that.
Yeah, I think it's sort of in the way. I mean, we love to have fun, but we're crazy hardworking girls. Like I almost wish we were less hardworking because we can't help it. We're like a little bit workaholics. I think it kind of comes with, a lot of entrepreneurs that own companies. But I think in a way, like we've always run our business though, a little I don't know how to say that, but like not selfishly. We didn't want to take from Mumu. We really wanted to build Mumu as a brand and give back to the company as much as possible. So I think that's allowed us to grow the company, just us. We always put everything back. We didn't make a lot of money from the beginning. Like I think some founders get a little, I don't know, greedy. So I think that's helped us really be realistic about what needed to happen in order to grow the company and not have to get into a bad financial situation. Like we've always, we've steadily grown it and not tried to also, like, I think, blow it up.
Yeah.
So we've really just been we kept the growth very natural and how it was sort of organically going, and then just always put everything back into the business that we could. So to keep us in this position,
Yeah.
I think.
It's hard. It's one of those things that nobody thinks about before they get into business.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people are like, oh, I'm really good at doing something. I should start a company doing it. And then you realize all the other stuff that is entailed.
It's everything. Yeah. It's like, we own a fashion company. People think we just like sit around and,
Try on clothes all
sketch
day.
or I don't know.
Get
look at
driven
trends.
around. You get flown
It's
in
like
private
opposite.
jets to
Yeah.
parties. That's
No,
really your
God,
life,
no.
right? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you really do.
It's very different.
All right. So first of all, I was half joking about that, but I did mention that it's like, this is the third week of November, and it is Black Friday, which I know from Sophie's company. I've always worked in service, so I don't do e-com. Like, it's not, people don't buy stuff for me. So literally, like, they come sit in my office and talk to me. Nobody does that on Black Friday. Like, I don't get an extra surge of like customers on Black Friday.
Yeah.
But for you guys, this is the season.
This
Like,
is
I
it.
know from Sophie, this is the month. It's insane. Before we get into the 5 questions, because I want to do that, you want to tell our people about something super exciting that
Yes.
that they should pay attention to?
First of all, our online sales are awesome. We love our customers. We know a lot of them are young girls. Maybe it's their first job and they might not have so much disposable income every month. So we really try to make sure we sort of do like 2 to 3 big sales a year. Black Friday is the biggest.
Yep.
And we make sure, like, whatever you wanted on Mumu, whatever category it might be, there's going to be something in that category, whether it's like a swim, sweater, bridesmaids. We really try to make sure that that girl that might not be able to buy things at full price can come there and hopefully get something that she was wanting, at least in the same like realm.
Yeah.
So, make sure you're on our email list, because we also send our email people. They get like early perks, early access, like all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be working this year with a lot of like different influencers with them, showing more of their favorite things in the sale, which is so fun because we design a lot. There's a lot of stuff on our website. It's so broad. So we've connected with some cool people that have different style. So you can sort of find your girl and see what she's getting out of the sale, because honestly, you could be on that website for 5 hours.
I get
Shopping
stuck
cart
on
could
it
be
all
like
the time.
add, delete. It can be so overwhelming.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do sort of like curated sale shopping for people
I like
based
that.
on someone they can like identify with their personal style.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cute.
And we just launched a new website.
Yay. I bet that was
So we
a
hope
lot.
you like it.
Yeah.
And-
Labor of love.
And if you
And
don't,
we
don't
hope
tell
it's
them.
easier to shop on
Oh, I'm
because
excited.
we spent a
I'm
lot of
excited to
time.
play on it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's going to be.
So we ask all of our guests 5 questions, and you can both answer. If there's something that, that comes to you right away, you can answer. You can pass on it and take your time, because we can always edit the breaks.
No editing was done. No, I'm just kidding.
What's the best advice that you've ever received?
I say this one all the time, so I feel like if you've heard me say it before, I'm sorry, but it's true. The days are long, but the years are short. Just meaning like sometimes when you're really in the thick of it and struggling, just remember, like, one, it will pass, but also you need to enjoy the moment you're in, even when they're bad. Because there's times when I look back and we were working out of a garage and it was so, but now I look back on those times as fun.
Yeah.
And it all went by too fast. So just like enjoying the moment you're in, and also like not getting too down, because it will pass. Whatever you're going through, you will come out on the other side. So I always say that.
I love that.
I need to figure out who said that.
It's just
I
a good
know.
reminder.
Who said that?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good reminder.
Maybe you made it up.
We
And
will,
it works
we will
in
look it
work
up, and we will have
and in
quote.
life, that's for life too. Like, especially having babies.
Totally.
Like,
I have a
yeah.
mug with that saying, and
There you go.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, I'll be holding baby Noah, like,
No
half the time the
sleep.
coffee's
Babies
on
really
me.
put it in
Like,
perspective.
Babies put it in perspective, because it feels so intense, especially days when you are with them all day in the beginning, first few months.
the first few
it's
months.
gnarly.
Oh, Lord.
Days and nights become one. You're just like cracked out, but you've got this thing
But
to
it's
take care
amazing.
of, and
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like, shit.
and then you miss it.
And then
Oh,
you
we have a
You're out of it.
9-year-old. It's insane.
Wow.
It's
Wow, that's
insane what
crazy.
It
happens.
hurts. It hurts.
It's the craziest thing ever. Cologne, anything about it? Best
I
advice?
mean, mine's just similar, but it's really just enjoy the moment and try to, just really be happy in what you're doing, because that's just the most important thing. And you can really let it, slip away. And I do think kids put it in perspective so much, because
Totally.
the moments go by so fast. So you really, really, really have to enjoy it. Because I would never think we would have this company and look back and be like, it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It really does go by fast.
Yeah.
What has been one of your proudest moments to date?
I think I know colognes.
Oh, no, what?
Yeah. Tell Cologne.
I would guess
Are you
this is
guys
what
gonna
Cologne would
answer
say.
for each other?
Yes,
That's never
this
happened.
time. This is high up there for me as well, but this is like colognes. We did a collaboration with Barbie.
Oh yeah.
that's
And
a good
I mean,
idea.
Cologne has like the Barbie books at her house. You know,
That's
like
amazing.
Cologne is I'm a huge Barbie fan as well, but
Yeah.
it's like Cologne's thing.
Yeah.
So I
you
think
did
for
a
her,
collab.
that's the thing
It
she'll be
was
telling
amazing.
like the grandchildren.
I was so
It
sad
was
not to
amazing.
make it to that.
I
Yeah.
still like have to pinch myself because I don't really believe it. It was
So
the
that's
best
what
thing
I would
ever.
say yours is. That's also
Yours-
up
Wait,
there
Cologne,
for
now you gotta
me.
pick one up for her.
What?
You gotta,
Cammy.
you
Yeah,
gotta-
what's
What's
mine?
hers?
What
I
would you
mean,
say?
yours will be when we do a collaboration with American Doll. Which
For
we
real,
have not done yet.
with American Girl dolls. That's how I was
I mean,
like,
American
Cologne's
Girl.
Barbie, mine's American Girls.
Yeah.
Which
Our-
American
our
Girl
favorite
dolls are each of you?
Like, I know it's not cool to say, but I'm Samantha. I love
Obviously.
Samantha.
Obviously, you're Samantha. Obviously.
I want to be cool and be like, I like Molly, but
No.
I like Samantha. But she's a brat.
Yeah.
So, you know, I
Not your
get that.
version. Not your version.
Exactly.
I lost this conversation like 45
We
seconds
will know
ago.
soon with baby Noah when we head to the Grove.
Oh, yes.
Don't you worry. That
Oh,
comes very soon.
I know that store. I've seen. I've walked by it.
What have
ready.
been your hardest moments, or a hardest?
I think now trying to balance a baby and then my work baby, just in general, finding that balance and doing that, I'm still trying to like figure it out. It's very hard.
Yep.
It's not easy.
I think the work baby, actually, they're both exhausting. Like I always try to, like, I'm like, who's more exhausting, the real baby or the work baby? And it's a really good competition. But that it has been, you know, super challenging for me, and I'm still in the middle of it. So
Yep.
I'll let you know when I
Doesn't
figure it out.
It doesn't change. You won't figure it out.
It's only going to get harder.
Let me let you know.
I think it's a lie that like the balance. It's not that
no.
there's
No.
a balance. It's that there
Yeah.
are moments
No
in the
idea.
day or the week or the month where it feels balanced, but it's like
Yeah.
juggling. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes all three balls up in the air and sometimes two of them
Totally.
up, and you're always feeling pulled in one direction more than another.
It's just
not
acknowledging
enough
it too
time.
along the way and just being like, okay, I've got both things happening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just like saying it into reality and letting everyone know that's around you. And then it's like, that's just what's
Yeah.
present for me right now. And then that's it. And then you're fine.
Yeah. And I think, having to be realistic with what's even possible.
Yeah.
With the hours in the day has
Yeah.
been a challenge, but
Yeah.
we're
Spreading
getting there.
ourselves very thin.
Yeah.
We're talking about having babies, running a business, all that great stuff. We found, and a lot of our people have found, that you've got to have your own way to take care of yourself. If you don't, things fall apart really, really quickly. So we love hearing from our guests, and our listeners have told us they love it too. What is your self-care routine so that you can show up best to your family, your relationship, your business?
I like to run. So if I don't run, I go crazy. I like stopped running for a minute and I felt very crazy. So I make it a priority and I have to. And I don't have to run far. I just have to like go outside and run. And a lot of people like meditate and do these things. I'm not a calm person. I don't like to sit still. I could never meditate.
I love that phrase.
I love doing yoga with you.
Yeah.
Yoga, I can't even do yoga. It's like too slow for me. I have to be like, for whatever reason, I have to be like on a spin bike or on a run to feel calm.
It's a moving meditation, though, I call it.
Yes, it is.
like-
And it's mental for
Yeah.
me. So I make sure to make it a priority for like my health, not even as much physically as mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I do and always do. I mean, even if I would just walk, I guess is probably enough, but kind of not. I have to kind of run.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of not.
I try to tell myself, but it's not.
I'm like the exact opposite of Cologne. I need to sleep.
Yep.
I
Reality
need to
TV.
read. I need massages. I need to watch reality TV. Like that's
Turn
the
off.
type of stuff I need to do. And I
Love
need
it.
to do it all without my phone in my hands. You know,
Yeah.
like about a month ago, I've made an effort to get off my phone at night, no matter what I'm doing, because, you know, we get in this habit where I'm watching TV with my phone in my hand.
Yeah.
Then you're not really present.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's my
Not
brain all over
relaxing.
the place? So then I'm not even getting to like relax and watch a show because I'm still like refreshing Instagram or answering emails or whatever. So I've really tried to make an effort to like do the things that I like to do to relax, but without my phone in my hand. Because if your phone's in your hand, it's like kind of fake. You're kind of not doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Your
or
brain.
like if I'm reading a book, my phone needs to be far away from me.
Same.
Because if it buzzes, if I see a light, I get out of my book.
Yep.
And then that's not relaxing.
Yeah.
It's relaxing
100%.
to like read a book when you're getting into the book.
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
know?
100%.
So I don't know, just doing all the things that I know I need to do to relax, but without a phone. And I just started doing that. And honestly, I gotta say, it's going great.
Yeah.
But I
Life-changing.
still have my phone in
Good.
my hand a lot, you know? But it's like baby steps.
It's baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the name of this podcast is Ignited. What ignites each of you?
I mean, it's kind of the same as before, but I think just at least for work, it's like all the girls. Every time I go in the office and I see everyone like working so hard, and it just like it like blows my mind, and it like makes me so pumped and proud.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think I'm similar, which is something we do agree on. Maybe that's why the company's going great. But I really find I am motivated by people and community and all of those things. And we've built an awesome, online community and social media presence with our Mumu people. And I love connecting with people online and talking to them and seeing how they wear their Mumu. And like, that's really what fulfills me. Not like trying to invent the new look or the trend. Like, that's not why I'm in fashion. I'm not really a super fashion-y person. I like to make stuff that makes people feel good and feel happy. And like seeing that all full circle, that like keeps me motivated and keeps me wanting to go forward.
That's awesome. Do you guys still get really excited?
Cammy gets on the Mumu Instagram all the time, every day, and just like writes back to everybody.
I know.
She loves it
I've
so
been
much.
bad
It's
lately.
so
I need
sweet.
to get back on there. I want to go live. I'm going to go live today.
There you go. Done.
Gotta go live.
I'm the same way.
Do
I
you
haven't
guys
been
still get
live in
really
a
excited
while.
when
No,
you see
you gotta
somebody
go live
wearing?
more.
Do you guys still get really excited when you see somebody like you're on the street and you see somebody just wearing your
I
stuff?
saw somebody in the
I
bell bottoms
freak
this
out.
weekend.
So
Awesome.
good.
Yeah,
That's-
especially when
I
you're
love
like
it.
traveling and you're in like a weird place and you see it. Like I see it all over the world, and it blows my mind, and it makes you very happy.
Especially in
gift-
Germany.
My
Sorry, I had to bring it back. That was too good.
every time that
It
I'm in
is good.
Israel visiting his family, his sister with her 3 kids live there, and then his mom, and she always comments on whatever I'm wearing, and it's usually Mumu, and I usually leave her a piece.
I
So
love
she-
that.
So in Tel Aviv, there's a cute
I love when
Girl
Mumu
version.
like gets passed on
Yeah.
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, always. And
It's
I make sure it
so-
goes to the right person who's going to love the
Totally.
shit out of it, you know?
Cool.
Yeah.
Love
so
it.
cool.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
So nice to have you guys
Thank
here.
you guys for having us. This
thank
was so
you.
fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I hope this month, this is of wrapping up our gratitude month, is full of gratitude for everybody
Yep.
heading into
We're
Thanksgiving.
so grateful for all of you.
Yeah.
And we
Thanks
will
for
see you
listening.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Ignited podcast. We were so happy to have you along for this ride. Please go and subscribe to this. Leave us a review. We love hearing from you. And if you want more, don't forget to go to ignited.com, where all the podcast episodes are available with show notes and so many of the little details and links from each one of these interviews. And you can look at all the future events that we have going on, all the things that make Ignited so special, even beyond this recording. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.